Okay, should be live again. Hello everybody. Welcome to Montezuma. I don't know if my app is starting up okay or not. There we go. Hello SKK, welcome. Okay, everybody, let's take a walk around drive around Montezuma here, and I've gone inside the visitor center. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but that doesn't mean we won't see things that we might enjoy seeing. So if you're just tuning in, as most people are probably just tuning in, we've already seen some interesting things. I started up earlier and then shut down to come here. We've seen a snowy owl at Saybolt Road, and we've also seen, I had previously recorded it, but showed you anyway, a rough-legged hawk. Now today is the 23rd, and in a week it'll be obviously the 30th. And that day, weather depending, assuming we come up here, may be our last time on Wildlife Drive for the season. They do close everything up on December 1st. I believe the visitor center, I thought I was told that they're going to be closing that on the 27th. So if you happen to be intending to come up here yourself, that's what you'll experience. But we've, as I've said before, coming up here when Wildlife Drive is closed or when the visitor center is closed doesn't mean, oh, there's nothing to see here. There's plenty to see. Obviously things are dependent on the weather. I mean, if they were to have 16 feet of snow covering everything, obviously there wouldn't be much to see. It's, apparently it's 41 degrees. Hold on a second here. And it is sunny, so that sunshine made for a difficult viewing of the snowy owl we saw earlier. And I would not say that we had a good look at the snowy owl. We saw it, we could see that it was clearly a snowy owl and everything, but we didn't get a good look. It was too far away, and although I can, we have enough magnification power to see that, but it was not a clear view. But we'll take it. Better than nothing. The last few days have been maybe what you'd expect for November. Not deep freeze, deep winter cold, but we've had some colder nights, and either around freezing or even below. Just what you would expect. So there's. Let me see. Hold on one second. So to my left, there's a channel of water, and it looks like it has at least a coating of ice on top. Oh, to our right, I see some Canada geese. By the way, what have I seen since I arrived here? A blue jay. I heard a crow. I saw some Canada geese. I saw a gull of one sort or another. Probably another. And a gull. That's just about it. Haven't seen much since I arrived. Let's look at the Canada geese that are here. You can see as we look. there's some ice there, and I believe there's some ducks there also. It's actually not bad light. It's kind of pretty, but who is that? That looks like a mallard. Another mallard. That is a gadwall. Another species of duck. And looks like, otherwise it's all Canada geese. Let's keep going. We only have so much time today. You know, not many cars were in the parking lot, and maybe that's no surprise. You know, a lot of people, maybe this isn't all that appealing on a colder day. You know, it's not like it's warm weather. And, you know, if you're just out here, you know, to be outside on a nice, you know, a nice relatively mild day, yeah, I can understand not wanting to be here today. Although it's, you know, not bad and it's sunny, it's actually pretty. But, you know, we have different, or at least I have different purposes here. You know, I'm here to see birds, and I know that there's a decent chance I'll see something of interest here or there. And, you know, indeed, on my way here, I saw the rough-legged hawk and I saw the snowy owl. So, you know, I'm having a nice day to this point. Okay, I think I see something of interest. Well, first of all, in the air, we've got, look like Canada geese, and here is another Canada goose. Okay. And up ahead, I'll bet that there's swans and ducks. What? Hold on a second. The cart is locked. Well, let me give you a look at these swans that are flying by anyway. I could have sworn that card was unlocked when I put it in. It is now. It was unlocked when I cleaned it, you know, when I emptied it. Something here well in the distance. A couple ducks by the looks of things. 3 ducks. I can't tell what they are from here, at least I can't. Now, we may not be here on Wildlife Drive very long, I mean, depending on what we see. Really, that's always the case. But, you know, this time of year, because of these conditions, you know, you've got here what looks like water nearby is covered with ice. So, you know, it's not going to be as much of a draw for, you know, for waterfowl. But we've seen up ahead the swan, and they're not close. The swans and and the ducks. So we'll see if maybe we can get a somewhat reasonable look at them. Although with this sunshine and the distance, it may be tough. Is that that same? What is that? Maybe that's the same goose, maybe. By the way, if you missed the snow geese that we saw last week on Cayuga Lake, I've put a video up. I was lucky to record, although I wouldn't say I recorded it as well as I would have liked. I was lucky to record a massive takeoff of all of them. And I did see snow geese today on the lake, or what I believe were snow geese, but it wasn't maybe as many, and also they were farther out than when we had seen them last Saturday afternoon. Another goose. But anyway, if you want to see what we saw last week, I'd encourage you to watch the video. I had fun recording it, certainly. So far it's kind of quiet here, not much going on. Here's some geese calling. I don't see anybody in the air. Okay, let's, I think, stop right here and we'll take a look at things. Before we do, who's over here? A gull, okay. I've seen no eagles yet. Although, wait, do I see an eagle out there? Yes. 2 bald eagles. We keep seeing them on mounds. Now they're very far out there, but we're going to try to take a look. Let me move the car just a little bit further. Again, much of this is frozen or at least covered with a coating of ice, but you can see like there's no coating there, but it's going to limit how appealing the water is to any of the waterfowl. Okay, give me a moment here. So we're looking at 2 bald eagles right now, but they're well out there. Beautiful birds. And this is the 3rd week in a row we've seen 2 bald eagles on one of the mounds like this. There are Canada geese coming in, a couple flocks of reasonable size. I don't know if they're coming in for a landing or not. I'm going to leave it on the eagles for a moment. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Well, some of them. Here are 4 of them. And the others are, I'm going to let them go, just because of where they are in the sky. Hold on a second. I just heard a mallard out there. I mean, there are more birds out there that we just can't see because of vegetation. Okay. Where am I looking? Here I am. Okay, we'll try to see if we can discern what's out there. But it's well out there, and we've got the sunny conditions, so it's going to be tough. I've heard that there are ring-necked ducks out there, and it looks like there are. looking on my little screen here, this is not easy for me. Well, you know, I have to admit, this sunshine would have me believe that things would be even worse than they are. It's not as bad as I thought it might be. Quite a few a Canada goose vocalizations. But... oh, hold on. Hold on, what do we have in the air? Hold on. And some of the geese that are there, let's see if I can get them. Looks like they're circling around. Okay. Just saw a fly. I just say that, you know, a fly, who cares? Well, it just shows you that there's still some insects around. I'm hearing mallards, but the only ducks that I've seen, I believe, I may be wrong, are ringneck ducks. Oh, lots of swans in the air. Not hundreds, but you can hear them. They sound like tundra swans. Geese also, Canada geese. Sounds like ground control is calling them down. Is there any wonder why we come up here? Really? Okay, back down to the ground. Well, hold on. Let's go back to looking. We're not going to be here too long. We're not seeing things as well as I would like, just given the distances involved. But just want a quick look at the ducks that are out there. Again, it looks like mostly ringneck ducks. I don't know if it's exclusively, but I mean, I am hearing mallards. Those are mallards. I hate when I do that, when I go to adjust my scope and I bump everything. Sorry. Could be worse. Could be a lot better. Okay, I think we're going to move on. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. The eagles, we'll take one more look at the eagles, which are still where they were. Over here. You know, if they were closer, that would be a good look. I could switch scopes and get us even closer, but I'm not going to. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to switch cameras. So I may be wrong, but it's my belief those are tundra swans that we were looking at. And, you know, it's difficult for me anyway to distinguish between tundra and trumpeter unless they're side by side, the trumpeter being much larger. But the calls that we heard were calls of tundra swans. I'm not an expert on any sort of bird identification or whatever, but, you know, some things, some clues you can pick up and you get to know, and they can be helpful, assuming you get to, you know, witness such clues. And hearing the swans, you know, has me believing they're tundra. We may. Hold on a second, let me take a look. We'll take one more look at the swans, only because, just to show you how many there are out there. Fair number, actually. Alright, hold on. So, I mean, starting in this area here, and really beyond even. Hold on. Just, again, I'm doing this just to give you an idea as to how many there are out there. plane overhead. Are they all tundras? I don't know. I would not be surprised if they're not, but I haven't heard any trumpeter vocalizations. Or at least I haven't heard any. Maybe there have been some, but I haven't noticed any. Aren't they beautiful? Unfortunately, none of them are close. Okay. Hold on. What else do I see? Do I see something else? No. Okay, let's keep going. So anyway, it's very possible this will be our last time on Wildlife Drive for the season. You know, never know how next week will work out, if we'll even be up here at all. But not just that, you know, there could be a weather issue, or, you know, I could even see them closing a day early for some reason. Now, not the last couple years. I mentioned this sometime, you know, a couple weeks ago, but not the last couple years. But I have seen them in prior years when the weather was, you know, was nice. They've kept Wildlife Drive open for, you know, for some time into December. At least 1 week, maybe even 2. I don't remember, but I've seen them do that. But the last couple of years, it's been, you know, even with mild weather, they've simply closed it on, you know, at the end of the day, November 30th. So, assuming we are here a week from today, that will be November 30th, and, you know, that'll be the last day, most likely. It's always kind of sad when it's closed for the year. But, you know, if anything, the last year actually really, you know, showed me that it can still be worth coming up here. Now, some days we were lucky. Maybe it was weather. Maybe it was, I don't know. We had good looks at, for instance, common mergansers last year, you know, a fair number of them at once, so that was, you know, something of interest to see. And, you know, we would see, you know, other birds, including rough-legged hawks and you know, things like that. So it made it worthwhile to come around, you know, the Montezuma area, and, you know, especially since I was already nearby, relatively nearby. Because I had looked for snowy owls. So, you know, I have to say I enjoyed this past winter, and hopefully things will work out this winter. I don't know. there's always the chance that even if I'm able to come up here, you know, maybe we'll have so much snow around that there's nothing, you know, very little to see. On the Bennings Marsh, I see, looks like Canada geese from here. Let me just take a quick look from here before everything is blocked from my view. You know, they're Canada geese all right, and I don't see... Oh, and a couple of mallards, a few mallards. This will be through the windshield. I have a feeling, you know, I don't know if we'll have a good look just because of the way things work out, but anyway, we're talking Canada geese. And there are some mallards. We'll try to take a look if we can. You know, I don't know how vegetation's going to work out. That's really the issue. You know, to the non-birder, people who are unfamiliar, you know, they may assume that, you know, going out on a day like today is worthless. You know, how can you see anything? It's, well, practically in winter, you know, that sort of thought. And, you know, for me, like I said earlier, I mean, there are things that the winter brings about that we don't get to see the rest of the year. I mean, I love seeing a rough-legged hawk. Okay, so we have Canada geese. You can see some mallards in the background there. Anybody else? More mallards. Love the Canada geese, I really do. And in the times of year when I don't get to see them, I miss them. I'm talking about the molting times, and then like in winter sometimes when, at least in my view from home, there are times when if there's a lot of snow on the ground and there's no food for them within my view. Oh, just saw somebody, a small little bird, fly by. It looked kind of like a swallow almost, but it flew across the road, I believe, and then over this way somewhere. I don't see it. It's a smaller bird, either swallow or sparrow. Oh, hold on. I see one or two. Let's see if we can get a look. Oh, okay. I think they're sparrows. Guessing. I can't see them well. Now, on the other side of the road, they're flying around over there. I just saw them again. And I saw some on this side of the road. I don't see them now. So I'm guessing they're sparrows of some sort. Oh, sorry. Fix the camera here. I can still hear the tundra swans. Okay, maybe I'm better off looking at this side, but I don't see them. I don't know what they were. I just saw them again. They were over here somewhere. I'm having a hard time pointing at them because of the pillar of the car here. And they were getting farther away. We're gonna keep going. I know, maybe I should stay and find out what they are, but We are running out of time. It's not even 1 o'clock. Well, it gets dark in a hurry. By the way, my plan, my hope, is to have, a tour on Thanksgiving. It'll be, as usual, a shortened tour. I don't think we'll be coming up here. It's highly unlikely, unless I hear of something that, has me, completely out of the ordinary and would make me come up here. But my plan is to have some sort of tour on Thanksgiving. Now, plans can change. I don't know. But if anyone wants to join me, I intend to, if I am out and about, I intend to stream what I see. It's my own Thanksgiving tradition, something I really enjoy. And as I've said before, to me it's important because I like to just remember that, sure it's, hold on one second, what do I see? What is that? Hold on, let me try to line up with it. I think it's probably a starling, but I don't know. Oh. Vegetation, always vegetation. Hold on a second. On the sign across the road, there's some bird. It may be a starling. I don't know, but its coloring seems a little odd. I think it's a starling in winter colors. Okay. By the looks of it. And, between the colors and the sharp, pointy beak and its general shape, I think that's what I was seeing. Anyway, the Thanksgiving tour, I do it to remind myself, it's easy for me to, have a Thanksgiving meal and that's fine. I like to remember that for the birds, they have to work every day. There's a red-tailed hawk over here by the looks of things across the road. Hey, baby. So that's on the other side of the highway. And I just like to remember that they have to work for their survival every day, and in turn that makes me more thankful for what I have. It's just a good reminder, I should say. Be able to, come to places like this and to see, just some of the remarkable things we're able to see. I mean, it's really a gift. And I'm very thankful for it. It's a privilege. To our left, we have the usual grasses and water that is covered with ice. So we're going to keep moving, but still want to keep looking around. In this stretch here, we've seen things of interest in the past at this time of year, so I'm not in a huge hurry to get right through it saying, oh, okay, just grasses and ice on the left hand side, nothing to see. I'm actually spending more of my attention looking on the other side of the highway, believe it or not, because we've seen some interesting things there at this time of year. There is some water here that's free of ice, but I'm not seeing, it's also free of birds, so we're going to keep moving. Not seeing any activity or anything. Not seeing anything on the right hand side of the road either. I mean anything. I'm not seeing like starlings or red-winged blackbirds flying around. Nothing. I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing much more here on Wildlife Drive today. I don't know what it is. Over the last couple weeks, I keep swallowing wrong, and then it gets caught in my throat, and I start coughing. And it's not like just, during the tour. I mean, it's like every day. Yeah, like I said, I don't think we're going to be seeing much more in terms of birds here on Wildlife Drive, but we'll never know. Not staying and watching that rough-legged hawk that I saw earlier this morning. I wish I had stayed and really watched it longer. When I was driving, what caught my eye is I saw, a hawk in the air, and it was hovering. And, you might occasionally see a red-tailed hawk do that, but that's not their normal, at least around here, that's not their normal behavior, to hover and to flap their wings. I mean, maybe they'll, on a breezy day, make use of the wind and kind of hover in place. Okay, fine. But you don't usually see a red-tailed hawk hovering like I saw the rough-legged hawk. So that in my mind said, okay, this may be worth a second look. So I pulled over, and sure enough, it was a rough-legged hawk. Lucky sighting, really. Had it not been in the air, I would have driven right by. Depending on what we see, much time we spend seeing it. There's always a chance that we'll go back to look at the snowy owl again, see if it's moved or if the view is any better. We may just do that. And if you weren't with us last year or you forgot last year, that was one of the locations where we saw a snowy owl fairly regularly. Or I should say, at least, we saw it several times. And I don't know if it's the same owl, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is. I don't know. Maybe it's decided it's a good wintering area. Whatever the case may be, I'm certainly glad to have the opportunity to see it. Out on Shockey Pool, from what I can see of it, I don't see much. Maybe a gull on the water or two, a few. Maybe wrong, but I don't see much. And who knows? Maybe most of Shockey is frozen over. I'm not sure. It's my understanding there are sandhill cranes around. So I don't know if we'll be seeing any or not. I'd love to have a good look at some. The sunny conditions may make things tough. We'll see. We may not see any at all. I don't know. If they're all see some pigeons. If they're all in the Knox Marcellus Marsh, which does not give us a good, clear, a close view. Viewing today might be tough because of the sunshine.